Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today is strange because this video I'm going to talk about me, which I'll get into why that's kind of weird for me, but really we are here to do a big giveaway. I have, let's see, 4 prizes. I had to count. I have 4 really cool prizes to give away. I'm going to tell you how to win them. Super easy. You don't have to do like 20 things. It'll be right here in comments. Very easy to win. And international is a-okay, so don't worry about that either. I'm sending them out. I'm just really excited to share these with you and to celebrate a milestone here on YouTube, and that is 20,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to this community. I have been gathering up your questions, and we are going to answer some of them today. And I'll tell you why that's a little strange for me in just a moment, but I'm so happy to have you here. Don't forget that you can also follow me, of course, over on TikTok, Instagram, and on Threads. Okay, let's get into it. As I said, I have 4 different giveaways. I'll tell you how I got those giveaways and how you can enter to win. You have between now, this video is going live on the 16th of March, 2024, and you have until the 22nd of March, midnight my time in California, to enter. And I'm going to tell you what all those prizes are as we go along here, okay? I have amassed a ton of questions that you guys have left for me over on Instagram and here on YouTube in a few different posts, and I haven't put any names with them because I've kind of conglomerated. I tried to get as many of the questions as I could, and a lot of people asked similar questions, so I didn't put names with the questions because I was afraid I would leave someone out. Hey, I asked that too, Rebecca. You know, I don't like to do that. So I kind of amalgamated them into questions. Most of them about YouTube. Some of them are personal. Why do I find the whole thing weird? Because you guys know, and we're going to get into this, that I am a journalist. I'm a writer. And we are pretty much trained to keep ourselves out of the story. And if you think about it, if you hear a great restaurant review, they'll say something like, the New York Times says this is the best pizza, right? Or Allure magazine rates this the best blush, or whatever it is. You notice there's generally, unless the writer is very, very famous, which does happen in some cases, but generally the writer's name is not associated. We writers hide behind the publication that we work for. So it's been very strange for me to be out here on this side of the camera and talking, and then having everyone go, tell us about you, Rebecca. I'm like, why do you want to know? So, and honestly, I'm in earnest about that. And generally, I have lived my life with people not knowing. And I have worked in fashion and beauty for over 25 years because I started very, very young. And I started very young as a stylist. I was a fashion stylist. So we're going to get all into all of these things. And I'm just so excited to be here with you guys, and thank you. We spend so much time together, I guess you might as well know a little bit about me. It is true, I started my career just out of college. I was an English major in college, of course, right? And I studied American literature. That was my emphasis, but all literature really. And when I left school, I was doing some teaching English to middle school and high schoolers, mostly middle schoolers, 8th grade mostly. Yes, and I taught creative writing and a little bit of theater. I'm not a theater person. I admire them greatly, but I just taught the class because it was fun. But, you know, I did like public speaking. Comes in handy here. And I was doing fashion styling. I didn't really want to do any writing. I was doing fashion styling. I was setting up for fashion shows. I was behind the scenes. I was pinning up dresses. I was, pressing clothing, etc., etc. I would always hang out in the hair and makeup because those are the really fun people. That's who I would hang out with, but I was in the clothes side of it. And then in a pinch, a magazine that I was doing a photo shoot for needed an article written. And I was a writer. I mean, I taught writing and I studied writing, so I wrote it. And then I realized you don't have to crawl around on the floor while people step on you and you pin up their dresses if you write the articles instead. And from there, I went on to a very long career writing and editing fashion and beauty articles. Sometimes I was the head editor, sometimes I was just the writer, and I even went into doing B2B, or that's business writing, trade magazines, and I would cover the trade shows, but I would also cover all the fashion shows and things like that, in New York, in Paris, in Italy, in London, and here sometimes in Los Angeles. And I've done a lot of work in the denim scene in Los Angeles, but also so much so much beauty coverage too, and I've written for all the big names and edited a lot of fashion and beauty for big celebrity publications from, Hollywood Life. I've written for People. I've written a little bit for Allure. I've written once for Vogue UK. I have written a ton for Neiman Marcus the book, Nordstrom, fashion malls. I have ghostwritten books on designers, retailers, famous retailers. So it was weird to come here to YouTube. Now, why did I do that? And I say this to you guys all the time. I'm looking at my questions here, but some of them I just kind of figured you would ask, and I'm kind of amalgamating them into one. For a while there, I was really happy writing, and I was watching friends and colleagues in other areas of journalism kind of run off the ship and start doing this YouTube thing. At the time, there was no TikTok and stuff. They were doing really, really well. And I am not a risk taker. And I was like, you know what? What I do is I write really well. And the world, don't laugh, the world will always need good writers. Well, I guess I still think we need good writers, but it is true that we don't read as much anymore. And I think Neiman Marcus used to pay me $2 a word, and it's gone down to, I think a lot of publications now pay 1 cent a word. Now, you get what you pay for. But yeah, it stopped being a viable way to earn a living. And then California stopped allowing freelance writers. That's a whole other story that I can explain in comments if you're curious. But it hit the freelance creative industry. So I used to do PR releases for Tommy Bahama and Sanrio and Kat Von D makeup and places like that. And I had to stop because they weren't allowed to hire, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of the writing I did I would be on staff at a magazine that didn't have headquarters in Los Angeles, so I worked from home. And then I would do freelancing on the side, and I was able to really work that way. So I thought, okay, this is, written print journalism is kind of dying, but I have this knowledge, you guys, of fashion and beauty. It's just what I've always done. It really is what I've always done in some capacity or another. And so I thought, I guess I better try this now. My friends have done so well. And I do think I'm a little bit late to the game, but I bring in knowledge. I've interviewed every celebrity makeup artist out there. I've been backstage or even front or second row at every big show, and I've been backstage and I've watched the hair and makeup. They were always my favorite people. I know so much. I thought, that's how I started YouTube. I thought, let me just try this. When I started YouTube, TikTok wasn't a big thing because I started YouTube 4 years ago. I have since started on TikTok and Instagram and all that, but TikTok hadn't taken off. I started right before the pandemic, and the pandemic set in, and that's when TikTok got huge. So would I have started on TikTok had I started today? Maybe. I don't know. But long form, because as you can tell, I'm a yapper. Just kind of works for me. So we're going with it, right? What do I wish I knew when I started YouTube? A lot of people asked me. I do wish I knew it was this competitive. I wish I knew that YouTube wasn't very transparent about how they do things. I wish I knew the setbacks and the confusion with YouTube removing subscribers, removing comments, making life difficult, and then being defensive when you ask them about it. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that you had to make sure you weren't producing content for you. You have to produce content for you. So when I started doing stuff, I did a lot of journalistic stuff, and everybody in the comments would be like, are you going to review the new such and such? And I thought, well, that's not what I'm doing. Until I realized that's what you got to do. You got to do what people like. And I have always done reviews of new product in print. So now I'm just doing it this way. And I think my dad told me, well, you're not a writer, Rebecca, you're a communicator. And I am. I'm a good communicator. So now I'm communicating this way. So that's how I started on YouTube. It was more, and now I do less and less and less writing. I do still do writing on the side. Somebody asked me that. I do. I will still do brand stuff, like for a brand for their website. And I do a lot of that sort of stuff behind the scenes. And I will still write articles, of course, when asked, obviously. But I do mostly this stuff now, and it keeps me very, very busy. A lot of people ask what I do with all the makeup. This is not new to me from YouTube. See, I think a lot of people start YouTube and they've never been in this industry. Having clothes, having makeup, this is not new to me. I've done this my whole career. And when I would be a fashion and beauty editor, I was always have shoes sent to me, makeup sent to me. I have always kind of had a system. This is not new in my life. I do have, I'll insert a photo here, hopefully it's not too messy, of the system I use now, which is clear shoe boxes that are labeled by brand. And then I also do, of course, have top drawer stuff that I'm testing and working with. And that's how I've kind of always done it. The only unique thing now is that I pay for most of it. It used to be sent to me. But PR wasn't such a big thing back then. Now PR is used from content creators to kind of brag. Back at the time, they sent it to you because they were hoping they would get a review. And it was a favor to give them a review. It's strange that PR and the nature of PR has changed so much. Somebody asked how I celebrate milestones. Well, this way, I give you guys stuff because it is our channel. I can't sit here and just talk to myself. I know I'm alone in a room, and it seems like I'm just talking to myself, but I am talking to you guys, so I celebrate it with you guys. What is my favorite type of makeup to review? That is a great question. I was going to say eyeshadow, but sometimes eyeshadow can be tough because of the amount of comparisons that are necessary, and I like to do those over on Instagram, but sometimes it's really boring on the channel, so I like to do blush. It makes people so upset when I do blush because I like to overemphasize it. This is how I actually wear blush. I know. Surprising, huh? This is just my makeup, everyday makeup. So I guess blush, I don't know. Goals for the channel, many of you asked. I told you guys I wanted to at least achieve 20,000 and then world domination. So that's my goal. I would like to get about 100,000, I think. And once I get 100,000, I think I'll want more, I guess. But no, I just want to, be comfortable. I do not want to be famous. I am recognized a lot now, and that's not my thing. I am, as you guys can tell, if you've been with my channel a long time, I'm very down to earth. Fame is not at all important to me. Being recognized, being invited to parties is not at all important to me. I just am an authority on the subject of beauty and fashion, of course. But I'm doing beauty here on YouTube, and that's what I want to be recognized as. Fame, I don't care. I don't care about parties. I don't care. If I could work with any brand, someone says, let me tell you, I would like to work more with certain brands. When Viseart contacted me, it was the high of my career. I am such a big fan of Viseart. And Victoria Beckham Beauty contacted me, a high of my career. I think I would love to work with Chanel, and I won't, because Chanel has a certain aesthetic. And I love everyone at Chanel, but I'll never actually professionally work with Chanel, and that's a shame, because I think that would be the ultimate. I have worked with Charlotte Tilbury, which I thought would be the ultimate, and it wasn't the most fun experience. I'll be honest with you. It's true. It's true. How is it, a few of you asked, that I actually answer all the questions and comments? This is kind of important to me, and I want to talk about it. I am, as you can tell, extraordinarily humble. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. Nobody wants to talk in a vacuum. And I understand community can talk back and forth. But if someone makes a comment or asks me a question, you spent your time. You're here spending your time with me. I'm not trying to criticize other content creators who don't answer every question. I totally understand that. For me, if someone speaks to me, I would like to talk with them and have a dialogue maybe, or just let them know that I saw it and I appreciate it. And how do it takes me a long time, but I do it. And I'll never stop. Literally. I could have 100,000 and I wouldn't stop. It's doable. I do them in batches, and it's because I appreciate you guys spending your time with me, which makes me sound like I think highly of myself, and I do not. I think highly of you guys for spending this time with me. Let's stop and talk about one of the first giveaways. The first giveaway we have is called the Denessa Myrix giveaway. This is her first Defining Neutrals Groundwork, untouched. All of this is untouched and unopened. Don't you worry, I'm not giving you used things. We have the Danessa Myrix Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette. It comes with a Cover FX primer and a Merit complexion stick. If the Merit complexion stick is not your complexion, please give it to a friend. As if you're anything like me, and y'all are, you have friends of many different skin tones. That's one of the prizes, and I'm going to tell you how to win these in a little bit. We have 3 other sets of prizes. So this is one that I'm so glad someone asked me. I see what people put on Reddit. Not because I'm on Reddit, it's creepy to be on Reddit, but people send me screenshots and stuff. And one of the big things people ask is, how do I get products so fast? How do I get reviews up so fast? All right, well, let me tell you. I am a trained journalist, and I've worked for dailies. What do dailies mean? Newspapers, okay? And when you work for a daily, guys, you got to get into a fashion show. Let's say Marc Jacobs was showing. You have to sit down. You have to write up what you think of the clothes, and you have to run to the press room. I date myself with that, but there used to be a press room with computers, and you need to file a story by a certain deadline. My daughter, and we're going to talk about my kids in a little bit, my youngest daughter's first words were, "I'm on a deadline," and she pretended to be on a phone. I had a video of it. I don't know if I have it anymore. I wish I could show it to you. She was walking around a little over 1 year old going, I'm on deadline, pretending to be on a phone. That's not a joke. So I don't think you guys realize this is not a hobby. I mean, this is just, I'm saying it instead of writing it. So getting what I need, be it product, be it information, sitting down, getting it out, getting it edited, getting it filed is just another way to do a deadline for me. And this is what I have trained my whole life for. And that is why I'm so quick. How do I get the product so quick? I live in Los Angeles. It is always going to be within reach. And that means I'm lucky that I live in Los Angeles? No, I'm not lucky. I live here because I worked in media. And that's why I live here. Same thing with those people who live in New York. And I would have done even more magazine work had I lived in New York. So I live here in Los Angeles. There's always a place to get it. And I will always drive to go get it. And I have a deadline in mind, even if I'm the assigning editor. And I need to file the story for the deadline. This is just what I do naturally. That is why I'm so quick, guys. This is just what I was trained in doing. And I see the Reddit things. She works at Ulta. That was my favorite. And she steals the stuff from the back. I'm like, what? First of all, I am so boring. If you guys knew, at night I'm sitting on the couch doing like the New York Times Wordle still. You know, I am not working somewhere and stealing stuff. And there's nothing underhanded. It's just incredibly hard work. But I don't know how to work another way. I've always worked under deadlines. Now I'm just setting my own. So I'm kind of glad a lot of you asked that. Somebody said, how do you do your work schedule and a work ethic? I have to control myself because I will work 16 hours a day. I am always working and then running, and then you never can get me. And a lot of people will text me and they'll go, can I just call? No, because I'm running. I can answer your text, then I'm going to go do something for my daughter, then I'm going to go cook dinner, then I'm going to do the laundry, film a video, edit a video. I will work all day. I am intense. I am not, people think, oh, I'm coming to LA, let me hang out with her. I don't have time to hang out. I just move. I am always doing something. The grass doesn't grow underneath me. So why am I so quick in my channel? I don't stop. I work on deadlines, and I will do whatever it takes to get products. I'm very frustrated when I can't, because it means I failed in my little head. What would you change about the beauty industry? Two people asked that. I am annoyed, I will say, by the fact that the beauty industry now is so crowded, sometimes with amazing content, sometimes with superfluous content, and I am sad to see PR become rather than a necessity or a favor to the brand. It's weird for me to see it be a perk for people. I don't get that. All right, let's talk about my second giveaway. We have the Goss Viseart giveaway. We have our Viseart. Which one do we have? The Petit. This is the Violette Petit 4. And then we have a Goss blush combo and a Goss lip pencil. So that's our Goss. We got 2 more to do. Favorite part of YouTube is talking to you guys. Not necessarily about myself. You see, how many of you are bored already? Okay. Two people asked me on Instagram, do you ever just get swatch requests and think, no, I can't do it right now? Yes, all the time. Sometimes I have to make swatches wait because swatch requests on Instagram take forever, and I don't even do them nicely because I have no camera skills. So sometimes I do have to make them wait. I love doing them, and they've made my Instagram successful, actually. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, not today. It's true. Am I still doing magazine work? Someone asked. Yes, I am. Sponsored content and ethics. Are you honest? Well, obviously, I am. I turn down more paid sponsorships and more PR than I take. If I receive PR, I will not receive PR in exchange for content. I just do it if I want to, and I say what I want. If I am sponsored and paid to do videos, which I am with brands like Myricks and such, I will always disclose it, and I will only do it if I like it. I won't. If I don't like it, what am I going to do? Rip them apart? No, I just don't do it. Only if I like it. Why do I believe these ethics are important? Because I'm in this for the long haul, because I have a name that I value as a journalist and a writer, and because you guys would see right through it. If I'm recommending stuff that you hate, you'll stop watching me. And that's not good for me. And it's not good for you. And as you see, most of my recommendations can be, for the most part, spot on. Not always, of course, for people. And that trust between you guys and me is paramount, absolutely paramount. What drives me to make videos and what would I do if I didn't make videos? Frankly, you tell me and we'll both know. This has been something I have always talked with my friend Marian about. I have said to her time and time again, I don't know if I should be doing this. And she said, then what would you do? I don't want to go back to teaching. I was really good at teaching. I think you can tell. I was really good at it, but I've been away from it for a long time. And right now, teaching seems thankless. It was then too, but right now it really does. So she'll always say that to me, then what? And I look at her and I'm like, I have no idea. So this is what I know. I don't have a choice. You're stuck with me. A result of the channel I didn't expect. I can answer that right off the bat. A result of the channel I didn't expect was having so many new friends. Now, this is a weird situation. So people talk about parasocial relationships. And this, I have relationships, especially with our members group, and so many of you, even outside the channel members, who I actually consider friends. And I don't think that's weird. There are so many people, men and women, that I have met through this channel that I only know through social media that are truly, literally friends of mine. And I did not expect that. There's no, I'm so down to earth. There is no, I am the influencer. I just call myself a creator, a journalist, a reviewer. And so many of you, I'm so amazed by this channel, how many of you are so intelligent, so thoughtful, so funny, so unique, so interesting. And I actually consider you friends. It's true. And I didn't expect that. Story behind Princy. So Simo, speaking of friends, Simo, Simo, how long have you been with this channel? Almost since the beginning. Simo gave Princy a name. So Princy, I know I'll put a photo up there. Princy is a Highland cow, which is a, Princy has eyes. Where are your eyes, Princy? They're in here. Princy is a Highland cow, a coo, from Scotland, purchased in Scotland. My husband is Scottish. I was married in Scotland. We own a home in Scotland, actually. And here's a cow. Here's a picture of me with a cow, with a Highland cow, and I fell in love with them. They are gentle giants. They are lovely little creatures. And that cow that I'm pictured with there, you'll laugh. I looked over and I saw the farmers kind of watching me and giggling. I'm sure they thought that crazy American woman. They're lovely creatures. They're my favorite animal, and I bought that particular cow in Edinburgh. I was. My husband is from the borders of Scotland, and I was married in Dumfries and Galloway, if you're in Scotland. And we own a home there on the borders. I can tell you exactly where. You would only care if you're from Scotland, so you can ask me in comments. And so Princy, who Simo gave the name to Princy. Simo's in Italy, so we're very international here, aren't we? And Simo named that Princy, and he's our mascot. So that's the story behind that. It just made me feel comfy. I just wanted something up here with me. Somebody asked me, what launches excite or disappoint me? The Pat McGrath can go for both of those. Always disappointing because it takes forever to get here. And you know, from what I said earlier, I hate that. And always excite me because they end up being still kind of amazing. What do I wish my viewers knew about me? Somebody asked this is me. This is not fake. This is not a character. This is exactly who I am. I am really even-keeled. If I get angry, I'll rant to you about it and kind of laugh. And if I'm sad, I'll rant to you about it and kind of laugh. I live my life in the middle here. I am thankfully very whole. I have a wonderful family, wonderful parents. That comes up in here later. And I'm very grounded and very grateful and a little bit boring in a good way. So yes, I'm not, like I said, stealing products, but I am a hard worker. I am intense in that sense. I'm probably not a lot of fun because I just work, but that's why I'm successful. You can't be successful without hard work, guys. You can't kind of do it on the sly or review just kind of what you like and think it's going to go well for you, because it's not. But I know that from I kind of came into this knowing this is just what I do instead of typing now, right? Okay, we're going to get into some personal stuff. I also have a Laura Geller giveaway that you guys are going to like, I think. I have the Laura Geller baked. This is a really big one. It's got 6 products. Told you English major, I have to count. The Baked in Brighton. I've got some concealer. I got 2 of her blushes. I've got a primer. I've got a brow lifting stick. So there's a whole Laura Geller package to give away. We've got one more to talk about, and I'm going to tell you how to win it. So I talked a little bit about my husband, my family and daughters. My daughters are from my first marriage, which was amicably split, and they are in their late teens, early adulthood. I have two of my parents are still living, and they live near me, but are very elderly now and getting more and more elderly, and it is very difficult. And I connect a lot with you guys. So many of my viewers are young, kind of my daughter's age, and they see me as kind of a knowledgeable aunt, which I am incredibly flattered by. And others of my viewers are around my age, in our 40s, and we are raising kids and helping with our parents and sometimes losing our parents. And you guys are going to have to go through that at some point with me as I watch my parents getting older. I'm not predicting anything, obviously. It's just something I have to keep in my head because it makes me very sad. Yeah. So I take care of them a lot, and I love them very, very much. I have two brothers. One is a Superior Court judge, and the other is a brain surgeon. So I am the black sheep of the family. I am the one who did it. It's true. It's true. So I do come from a very high-achieving, driven family, frankly. My daughter's the same thing. One daughter will be a teacher, and another wants to be an orthopedic surgeon. So kind of exciting. Yeah, we're very driven. We're serious people over here. Where did I grow up? I grew up in Southern California. I've lived in Los Angeles my entire life. I went to college in Los Angeles as well, or in LA County, around Southern California. Was an English major, and I've always been in Southern California. I wish I had been in other places, but somebody said, would I ever live somewhere else? I would, actually, but I'm here because my kids and my parents right now are here. It's a necessity, really. Do I have any pets? I don't. When my husband and I got married and he moved in, he brought Henrik with him. Henrik is a Siamese cat. I am deathly allergic to animals. I was never allergic to Henrik. Henrik passed a few years back and has not been replaced and could never be replaced in my heart. Henrik became my little friend. He was a big, mean 18-pound tomcat who had only lived with my husband, who was a bachelor. And when he moved in, he was choking at one point on this little plastic straw that he had somehow found and was inhaling. And I ran over, panicked, and I pulled it out. When I pulled it out, it startled him, and he scratched me, and I bled. And I cried. I cried. And the cat looked so shocked. I've never seen anything like it. Ran upstairs, hid under the bed. This big male angry cat hid under the bed. Didn't come out till the next day. Never touched me again. Would snuggle with me at night and do this to my hair, Henrik. And just became, with my two daughters and me, the most loving, the most gentle. He would still scratch the heck out of my husband, and they would fight. He would hiss at my husband and scratch him. It was a mean old thing. With me and my daughters, he was such a gentle little thing. And in fact, my daughter, when she was much younger, would sleepwalk, and Henrik would wake me up to let me know that she was sleepwalking. And I'd noticed that my daughter her door was open, and there'd be like a blanket on the stairs, and Henrik would come get me because she was out of bed and he knew that was wrong. What an amazing creature Henrik was. So we miss you, Henrik. And he was very, very loved. Very, very loved. What hobbies do I have? None. I work and I like to cook. I love to cook and bake. So that would be a hobby. That's kind of my, what they talk about, love language and stuff. I love to cook. If you were to come over here, I would try to feed you. Yeah, definitely. I love to cook and I love to bake, and I still do that with my mother. It's kind of how we bond. My daughters don't like it. They'll eat what I make, and that's good enough for me. But we don't really bond. We're starting to bond a little more over makeup, and my daughter's friends and I bond over makeup. Somebody even asked what I do with all the makeup I get rid of. I definitely give it to their friends. I also give it, this is important, you can't always give it to women's shelters if it's been used. When I can, I do that, or hospitals. But there is also, at my daughter's high school, there are also sometimes groups that will give to, kids that can't afford makeup for prom and whatnot, and I can just give it to them as long as it's in good condition. Obviously, that should go without saying. Obviously, I would never give it away if it were icky. All right, the fourth prize that we have here is a kind of a skincare prize. I've got Good Molecules Hyaluronic Acid Serum. I've got Elemis Pro Collagen Morning Matrix. I've got R&Co Dallas Biotin Treatment, Hair Therapy Treatment, and another hair care product from Better Not Younger, and that will be coming out in the skincare, hair care package. Those are all 4, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. I'm almost done here, actually. Guilty pleasure TV shows. Somebody asked me. 90 Day Fiance. Anything on Bravo? 90 Day Fiance. What's the ship one? Under the Deck or whatever that one's called, right? Below Deck, is that what it's called? And all that Andy Cohen stuff. I like that. I like the Bravo stuff. Any sort of food TV. I like the real estate shows. I haven't ever gone into the Housewives series, but I think I would probably enjoy that. But 90 Day Fiance, most definitely. I do enjoy that. That's fun. What did I study in school? Someone asked. Obviously, English. What are my favorite books? I don't have favorite books, but I have favorite authors. Flannery O'Connor, Faulkner, Alice Walker, Allen Ginsberg, the poet, Walt Whitman, William Carlos Williams, poetry, Zora Neale Hurston. Those are some of my favorite authors and poets. But I like art as well, another hobby. I like modern and contemporary art. I'm a nerd. Guys, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. But I also love pop culture. I am a huge music buff. I can tell you anything pretty much about music from the 60s to the 2000s. I am a massive punk rock, ska fan. Massive. And know a lot of those people personally. Yeah, so you can ask me anything about that, especially in terms of subculture and pop culture. I happen to be an expert on strangely British pop culture and music and the mod culture, skinhead culture, stuff like that. I'm fascinated by all that stuff. So that's probably a little bit of a hobby. And let's see, like most and least about this world is our last question. I like most having a dialogue. I think we're all allowed our opinions. I don't like yelling someone down. I like to hear someone out. I like to diffuse. If you guys are angry and right here, I do not delete comments. I usually just talk to you. I like to diffuse situations. I think we should all strive to do that. I think people crave conversation. And I think they crave not... I think we only escalate arguments, guys. And I think people really crave honest discussion and collaborative thinking. And I think we all need to hear each other's viewpoints and not get angry at each other. I'm a fence sitter. I don't have extreme viewpoints in either direction. I just like to listen and form my own opinion. I wish we could all do that. I think that's... And love each other and be kind, to be honest. Okay, that's a lot about me. I hope that wasn't too much about me. Okay, let me tell you how to enter. So what I'm going to do here is review the 4 prizes. I'm going to tell you how to enter. So we have a Laura Geller prize with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Laura Geller products. We have our Denessa Myrix prize, which comes with merit and cover effects. We will call it the Danessa prize. We have the Viseart Goss prize, and we have the skincare hair care prize. You can enter down below by simply stating that you want to be entered in all 4 contests, or you can say all but hair care, skincare, or all but Laura Geller, or all but whatever. Or if you're just interested in winning the Denessa palette, you can say just Denessa. So again, and I'll enumerate this down below in the description bar. You can enter all by just saying enter me in all of them, that's fine. Or you can enter 1, 2, 3, whatever you want. There is the Laura Geller package. I'll tell you what is in it, all listed down below. There is the Danessa Myrix / Cover FX Merit package. There is the Viseart Goss package, and there is the hair and skincare package. There are 4 different prizes. You may enter even if it's international. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'll send it to you and put some candy in there too. International gets the American candy, which is kind of fun. Or here in the U.S., of course, North America. You can tell me which one you want to win or all of them. Doesn't matter to me. Some of them do involve, as I said to you, complexion products that you might have to give away if it's not your skin. If it's not your skin tone, I'm sorry about that. I'm just throwing them in. Everything is unopened. Everything is new, and everything is to thank you for bringing me to 20,000. I hope I've explained a little bit. And I would love to hear you guys go, thank you for telling me that. I always thought you were stealing products or whatever it is you thought, I don't know. So I hope it explained a little bit and wasn't too much on me. My goodness. Here I said I was hesitant to speak about myself, and then I didn't stop. So I just appreciate all of your questions coming in and everything that you asked. Thank you so very much. And enter the giveaway. It is open until the 22nd of March. Today's the 16th of March when you're seeing this. I'm going to keep it open until midnight on the 22nd of March. All the rules, there's not many rules, will be down below. And I look forward, I would love for you to tell me how I can get a hold of you or something like that as well. But enter down below just on this YouTube video, please. And I thank you guys for 20,000. Here's to 20,000 more, then 100,000, and then we'll put off world domination until then. Make sure you're subscribed. I would like for you to be subscribed. That will count more towards winning, I must admit. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.